All right, we'll go ahead and get started now. My name is Carissa Chuka, and I'm with Results Repeat. I want to thank you all for joining our Lunch and Learn today. We tried this out as a series of 4 Lunch and Learns. Today is the 4th, but it's gone so well, we're going to continue to do them throughout the summer. So just look out for an email or Facebook post about what we'll be doing in the months to come to continue, including we're going to, survey all of you and see what you're interested in so that we can provide topics that are valuable to you. Today we're going to be talking with Kevin Whitbeck, who's our Director of SEO, and he's going to be giving us a tour of some of the best free SEO tools. Just a couple quick notes before we begin. We'll be sending around a recording of this session after, and you can also find it on our Facebook page, so don't feel that you need to gobble up all the information right now. You'll have the chance to review it as often as you may need. Everyone here is muted as they enter, and I'll just ask that everyone stay on mute throughout so that we can hear Kevin's presentation clearly. Sometimes background noise from people's offices or homes can be a little distracting for other people who are trying to listen. And then the last thing is we'll have a Q&A at the end of the session. Throughout, if questions pop into your mind, just put those into the chat box, and then we'll address everyone's questions at the end. So thank you again for attending, and here is Kevin. Oh, Kevin, you're muted.
Can you hear me now? All right, cool. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today for our 4th installment of Lunch and Learn. Today we're going to be talking about SEO tools, the free insights that just keep giving. Just a little bit about me. I'm a graduate of SUNY Oswego. I graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in graphic design. Didn't really pan out for me in terms of a career path, so I happily fell into digital marketing a little over 10 years ago now. Started out working in an agency setting, doing some link building, and ended up getting into analytics and reporting, and fully developing my career path in SEO. As I said, I've been working within digital marketing and SEO for about 10 years now. I've been with Results Repeat for about 2.5 years, and I'm presently the Director of SEO here. So let's dive in. And today, let's start out by talking a little bit about SEO. Simply put, SEO is the process of modifying a website to improve its visibility in natural organic search to in turn increase the quantity and quality of organic traffic going to the site. In order to do this, there's thousands of tools that can assist throughout the process. Just so happens that some of the best tools are free. So where do we start? We got to start with Google. It's the biggest search engine out there. It's most commonly referred to when we're talking about search engine optimization. And just to solidify that fact, as of April 2020, Google was reported to have 88.6% market share worldwide for search engines, and that statistic comes from Statista. We don't know all of the details about Google search algorithms and how they determine rank, but they do give us some insight into what they look for. So really one of the greatest assets that any SEO can have within their toolkit are Google's own search guidelines. And that's a free asset and accessible to anyone. But it's not really a tool, it's more of a blueprint for us. The Webmaster Guidelines provide 4 primary guidelines: Webmaster General Guidelines, Content Specific, and Quality Guidelines. In terms of SEO, there's one that really outweighs the others, but if you at all in any capacity are dealing with digital marketing, any of these are a really valuable read for you. But in terms of the quality guidelines, This is a list of things that can result in your website being omitted from search results via manual action. This is a human review which determines whether or not pages on your site are compliant with Google's Webmaster Quality Guidelines. If you were to utilize Google Search Console and see that you were given a manual action, what they're doing is giving your website to a human who follows a set standard of quality rating guidelines that Google has put out. This document is accessible to us. It's a huge resource. It tells us what they're really looking for in terms of website quality. It's a gigantic document. It's 168 pages, so by no means am I going to touch on that today. I provided the link and we'll provide that for you later on. Feel free to peruse it. It's a wealth of information, but with addressing SEO tools, I feel like I would be doing you injustice to leave out those details there. So let's actually jump into some stuff you can play with. And keeping in, along with our trend in Google provided information, let's start with a couple Google tools that myself personally, and I know my team use pretty much on a daily basis. A few of these are actually open on my computer pretty much all of the time. So to start with, we can talk about Google Analytics a little bit. This is a data gold mine. So many SEO tools use this. They connect Google's API, pull information directly, paint a different picture and a little bit of a different graphic. So, there's a lot of insight that can be gained from it, but what we don't need to do is spend money on a whole bunch of other tools. Google Analytics is free. Instead of wasting money on a variety of other tracking tools, learn how to use Google Analytics and use that to get your valuable insight into your website traffic. Through Google Analytics, we can analyze historical and real-time website traffic performance and engagement data. We use this to discover trends within website traffic. For example, seasonal patterns of traffic, whether there's increases due to the holidays or decreases due to the holidays, whether it's seasonal, you get more traffic in the spring than you do the fall, so on and so forth. You can analyze this traffic and inform your marketing campaigns and stress where you need to invest more money or take advantage of downtime to build out resources. There's a ton of information that you can glean from just analyzing the trends of the overall traffic. We can look at the volume of traffic coming to the website from the different marketing channels here. Now, this isn't necessarily SEO specific, but you can utilize Google Analytics to look at those different traffic channels, whether it's organic, whether it's paid, whether it's a referral or an email source. You can really see which channels are performing and how well. And you can be informed where you should be spending your digital marketing budget. Based on the data that you see, should you really be spending your money on email campaign when you know that paid marketing and organic are going to be doing better for you? It's, time will tell and the data will tell, but you can use that to your advantage here. You can analyze specific pages or groups of pages to see what content users find most valuable on your website and what content you need to improve. You can see that by looking at what's viewed most often, where users are spending most of their time on the site, where they're actually converting. And to get even deeper, you can look into the increases and decreases that directly relate to the changes you're making on your website. If you're adding content, removing content, or updating specific content on various pages of your website, look at the incoming traffic. Is it going up or is it going down? Are users spending more time on the page, meaning they're interacting with that content? Are they engaging with it? Are they bouncing from that page? Are they finding exactly what they need and leaving? Or are they not spending any time and leaving immediately? Or are they coming to the page and bouncing around throughout the site? Are they visiting multiple pages? Are they finding the information that they need? And lastly, really looking at conversions. Are those content changes that you're making resulting in an increase in conversions or not? Google Analytics is going to give you that information. Google Analytics collects anonymous aggregate data. There's no personal information given in Google Analytics that goes against their guidelines. So how can we get more information out of this? We can use other Google properties and connect them to Google Analytics. If you're not doing this already, it's something really, really important to do. Connect your Google Ads, connect Google Search Console. Both of those additional tools have information that Google Analytics doesn't have. You can connect the data sources and glean different information that you normally wouldn't get. Google Search Console is going to connect keyword data to your incoming traffic and your traffic performance throughout your site. You can't get that from Search Console. You can't get that individually within Google Analytics. So connect those sources together and gain additional insight. And just to emphasize, Google Analytics is a very, very robust tool. This overview is extremely insufficient. I know that. We can help you understand Google Analytics data. Just reach out. We're more than happy to help here. Ellen also did a Lunch and Learn a couple weeks ago that was specifically geared towards analytics. If you weren't here, go to our YouTube channel and check that out for some more information. Google Search Console is another great tool that we can use. It's also free. Here we get easy access to keyword data, crawl data, indexing info, backlinks about your website, and so much more. We can look specifically at rankings for keywords. We can look specifically at rankings for pages. We can, as I said, we can look at backlinks, but we can also look at internal links. And this is going to refer to the amount of pages that your site is linking out to internally, or the amount of pages that are linking to your website. And this is really informative because Google really looks at your backlink profile to determine authority for your website. Monitoring your backlinks and making sure that they're quality is a huge part of SEO and is definitely something you should be looking at in Google Search Console if you're not already. There's additional reports that are enhanced reports. These revolve around Schema and Rich Results. These are going to be directly related to keywords and pages that are ranking for rich snippet results in the search engines. These are your little box results that you're going to see in organic search results that provide, question and answer information, product data, so on and so forth. But it'll also give you information as to whether there are code errors within your structured data. And this is important so that you don't get banned from getting shown in rich results. You need to have those errors corrected. You need to have your code correct in order for Google to see the quality in your site and to show your site the way that it needs to be shown in search results. You can review sitemaps, what pages are actually indexing on your site. You can make requests to index new content or temporarily de-index pages from search. There's also a new feature called Core Web Vitals, which looks specifically at user experience. And this is something that's coming up in the future. Google will be making an algorithm update to look at user experience and incorporate that as a ranking factor. My personal belief is that they're already using that to some extent. They just haven't outrightly said that. But this will give us specific items on your website to look at to improve user experience and the way that they're able to engage with your content. So there's always new and improving information that we're getting from Search Console. Specifically at the page performance report from there, we can dive into the page level and see what specific keywords are actually driving traffic to your website from search. A lot of tools out there are just going to tell you the search volume and where you rank. This one's going to show you what keywords are getting clicks and driving traffic to your website. You can get insight from this as to what you're actually targeting on your site. Are you targeting something that's really valuable to you, or are you just targeting it because it's high volume and you'd like to rank for it? There's hidden gems that show up in here all the time where keywords that you weren't targeting are actually driving traffic to your site, and you can then go in and change your strategy and adjust that to better serve the intent of your incoming traffic. One thing to point out here with Search Console and keyword reports and page report stuff is that all metrics shown on the keywords and pages are an average of the metrics shown during the selected time range. So the date that you have selected here in this example, we have a 3-month time period here. This average number applies across for that 30-day period. But once you dive deeper down and look at specific keywords or specific pages, those associated metrics are still looking at that time frame. You can dive down to a page level, but Search Console is slightly delayed and is not 100% real time, so expect a little bit of a delay there. Index report is another really, really important part of Search Console. You need, first and foremost, when you're trying to rank for anything in organic search, your site needs to be crawled, and the search engines need to index your content. So hop in here often, check out your excluded pages and your error pages. Make sure that the pages that are listed in the excluded pages are not pages that should be indexed. See what errors are actually causing pages to not index. Are there too many 404 not found errors on your website? Are pages redirecting or not redirecting as they should? Are there canonical errors, meaning that you're not setting a preferred version of your URL to indicate to the search engine of which pages should be indexed and ranked? Are you blocking pages from a robots text file or a meta robots tag? This specifically tells the search engines not to follow links on your page or not to index a page. These can be common errors that come across when a website comes out of dev, or a change in Yoast that you didn't realize that you made. So these are really quick indicators of issues that you might have and easy ways to identify areas of your website that need to be corrected. Google Trends is another really popular tool that we use. We talk a lot about search volume when we talk about SEO, and we use that as an indicator of what keywords might be more valuable than others, due to the fact that it has a higher estimated monthly search amount. Google Trends looks at this a little bit differently. Instead of looking at an estimated volume, it looks into trends around topical search interest. So not just the specific keyword, you can look at that phrase as a topic and how it's being searched on the internet right now. You can see that in these two images that I included here, we're looking at SEO and web design. It gives trend data over, I believe I had a 5-year period selected here, so you can get a long time view. If there were consistent trends going up and down, you could make adjustments to your strategy here and there accordingly. You can use, as I was saying, you can use this to view annual or seasonal trends around search topics or keywords, and make informed decisions about what to target during higher or lower periods of interest. They also provide this really cool item called related terms, which can provide completely new opportunities or emerging search terms, which are notated as breakout phrases that you might benefit by including in your own marketing campaigns. But when we're looking at trends and we're considering how we're optimizing our website, and our intent behind optimizing website is improving the website's relevancy to the intent of a user search. So we always have to consider context when we're thinking about trends. Think of the why, what's making the trend go up or what's making the trend go down, and how can you adjust accordingly. Those increases or decreases, they may not specifically apply to the intent of your audience. So in order to check that out, perform manual searches within the search engines, see what types of results are showing up, and if those results align with your audience's intent or interest rather. If they're not in alignment, you might not benefit from optimizing for that type of content. There might be a difference in how users are searching for that phrase at this time. So something to always consider as you're looking at trends. Another really cool tool that we use, and this is a ton of information, is Woorank. This is a Chrome extension. I'm not sure if they have it for Mozilla or Firefox, but I'm assuming that they do. This is a general audit tool. It's going to give you a quick analysis of your on-page optimization, your technical optimization, and give you a prioritized list of what can be done. So you'll see the overall score that's presented here for results repeat. We've got a decent score going on right now. We've got a whole bunch of different items that we passed there's a couple things that we'll need to improve and a couple errors that we'll need to fix too. And this is something that we can always, pay attention to, because websites change, content changes constantly. There might be a change in the code or an update to the CMS that you're using. So seeing little errors like this are just constant maintenance things that we need to address. And this tool does a really, really good job of identifying them quickly and prioritizing your efforts as to what can be done now, what needs to be done sooner, or areas that you can just work on to improve over time. Specifically, you can look at title tags, meta descriptions, headings, images, so on and so forth here. You're also going to get some technical information that will be around how your page will index, how it appears on mobile, if you're using structured data or schema, and your ability to show for rich results. Website security, your SSL, your secure socket layer certificate, and page performance in regard to page speed. So things that you can do to speed up your page load, which is going to play a factor in how well you can rank. Another really cool tool, has an awesome user interface. This is tons of fun to play with, is Answer the People. If you have a search topic or a phrase that you need to get additional keywords for, you need to create content around, find out what types of questions people are asking about it. This tool directly mines its information from Google itself. So we're using, again, that top search engine and its data to make content opportunities or keyword opportunities from this tool. If you type in your phrase, it'll give you a list of questions. These are looking at the when, the who, the why, the hows, the ares, all types of phrases and questions that are commonly asked. Again, you have to analyze this. They may not all apply to you, but it'll also give you a list of preposition phrases or comparison phrases. It'll give you a list of alphabetical phrases. Now, when you type in a specific keyword in Google, it'll pop down and give you a list of alphabetical common search phrases or terms. This is providing that all in one space. The other benefit is related information that it's going to give you. It'll give you related keywords and potential new keyword or content opportunities as a result. Couple things about SEO tools that are really important to sort of know or make sure that we're thinking about. Data is your friend. Use the tools at your disposal to make informed decisions. Use them together. You're using multiple data sources. Not a single one of them is going to be the end-all be-all or give you all of the information that you need. Understanding the various elements of these different tools and how they work together can be really important in your strategy making. Each one of these tools is going to have its own pros and cons. Test them out, see what works best for you. You may not be comfortable with the formatting like the one I was just showing you, the visualizations all over the place. There's options to reformat it, but see what really works best for you. It's free. Yeah, a lot of these tools are free, but a lot of them are going to require you to sign up or are going to give you a limit on what you can actually use. If you have a small to medium-sized website, the majority of these free tools, even if it is a sign-up and it does limit a little bit of what you can see, it will be absolutely sufficient and will still provide you benefit. So if it does require a sign-up, don't necessarily be scared of that. Any tools that are using browser extensions will often need third-party cookies enabled in the browser to be able to use them properly. Be prepared to update your settings as necessary. Learn and understand the various data sets. What are your metrics that you're looking at? What do those actually mean and how do they apply? Again, using those multiple data sources together can allow you to make really informed decisions. By using these properly, understand your marketing channels and really understand where to spend your hard-earned money so that you can really make more money in the end. And lastly, SEO is a long game. Regular use of these tools is going to allow you to evaluate your website performance, the optimizations that you made, and how the search engines your traffic respond. But it's all going to happen over time, so regular use is important. A couple quick mentions here. I'm not going to get into detail because we do have time constraints. SEMrush, a free audit tool, keyword tool, backlink research tool, competitive research tool, awesome to use. Free version is limited, but I highly recommend you check it out. Screaming Frog is a little bit more for the technical oriented user. This is a crawl tool. It will audit websites, provide you some basic on-page information, but a lot of technical detail on how your site will be crawled and indexed by search engines. Fun to play with. If you don't like spreadsheets, stay away from it. Geometrics and Pingdom, we talk a lot about site speed. Either one of these tools are super detailed and it's very high level, but they do provide overall scores and can give you some quick insight into resources on your website that you can update in order to improve page load speed. So that is all I got, and I can take some questions if you have any.
So Kevin and everyone, Kevin has shared links to some of the things that he covered. So I'm going to paste those links into the chat box. So before you leave today, make sure to copy and paste those links so that you can check out all the tools that he discussed today. Kevin, some of the questions are here, so I'll just start at the top. And this is a really great question. There's so much information in Google Analytics. How would you recommend choosing the right KPI to focus on?
It's a little hard. What you don't want to be doing is focusing on vanity metrics. Something like a video view or a click on a social media link. Those aren't valuable KPIs to be tracking in terms of a conversion. A real conversion that generates a lead and has potential for you to follow up on as a business owner or someone that's within sales is a qualified lead and should be a KPI that you're tracking. So I would highly recommend going after form completions or a phone call or an email. There's a variety of different things that you can do in terms of tracking events so that you can still keep tabs on that video view or that click on a social media link, but they don't necessarily apply or should be weighted as highly as an actual lead generation conversion.
And then let's see, do the items added to your website improve SEO, that improve SEO through Google? So you mentioned Google has the market share for search, but do those SEO tactics improve your rankings in other search engines as well, like Bing?
Generally speaking, best practice is to go by Google. Obviously it's the biggest search engine, right? But a lot of the other search engines are going to model their interactions off of what Google is doing and try to emulate what Google is doing. They are a little bit different. For instance, Bing will take social media into account and apply social media presence and linking as part of a ranking factor. But those differences and that specific example, like going after social media in terms of linking, in terms of a ranking factor and making that a high part of your strategy, isn't something that Google is going to be looking at. And it might be actually negatively impacting Google. Bing, for instance, will also look a little bit differently at backlinks. So it's looking at quantity of backlinks, whereas Google is really looking at the quality of the backlink. So if you were to go for an SEO campaign and make various changes on your site to get more backlinks, and they were viewed as manipulative by Google, but not as Bing, but not by Bing, you're going to negatively impact your site's presence in Google, but you could improve it in Bing. But the audience that you're actually impacting by doing that is much larger in Google. So stick to Google. Google's best practices are the way to go. It's a love-hate relationship, believe me. But yeah, go by Google.
Okay, so you mentioned a rich snippet. Can you tell us really quickly, what is a rich snippet?
So a rich snippet is a specific result that's going to come in organic search results. If you ask a question and you see a little box that pops up that directly asks that question, provides an answer, you'll see like maybe like a little paragraph and a couple little bullet points, but it's highlighted out, it's in a carded format. It's going to sit separate of your normal blue link description that you would see as an organic result. It's just a more informative result that sits within the natural search results. It's informed by structured data or schema code that's put on a website. These are structured sets of information that Google knows to look at. And it helps them to make informed decisions about what content can be shown within various rich snippets. You'll see these for recipes, product offerings, question and answer, review. Actually, review is deprecated, but there's a variety of these that you'll see, and a variety of these that can be optimized for on your website.
So let's assume someone's completely unfamiliar with Google Analytics or Google Search Console. Where can they go to get some training on how to use those?
Google offers some really, really good trainings through their Analytics Academy, specifically for Google Analytics. This is a course-based process that will educate you throughout various levels of analytics abilities, starting from a beginner to advanced. Search Console has a lot of various documentation through their Webmaster Central that will teach you about all the various elements used within Search Console. Moz offers training, Search Engine Land. There's multiple things out there. I can provide a list of resources for you to go in and get training if you need.
So all of those that you mentioned are free. So there are lots of resources out there if you are looking to learn more about how to use Google Analytics and Search Console. Is it possible to import the Search Console keyword rankings into Google Analytics so that you can see everything all in one place for all the pages and all the keywords?
When you connect Google Search Console with Google Analytics, there is a specific tab that is in Google Analytics that will give you your keyword data associated with your page data that comes from Analytics. You'll be able to see the associated metrics from Analytics, such as your pages per session, or bounce rate, or time on page, in alignment with your keyword data that came in from Search Console.
Cool. So I did add all the links that you mentioned and shared today to the chat box. So if you haven't had a chance, now's your chance to go grab those out so you can explore some of the things that Kevin mentioned today. And that's it for today's Lunch and Learn. Thank you everyone so much for coming and asking great questions, and we will see you again soon. Thank you.
Thanks everyone.